What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Starting Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Hands Down Sports, and today, of course, I'm going to be talking about that Super Bowl. Now that the dust has settled a bit, I can give you my thoughts about it. Of course, like always, we'll be, speaking on the NBA and the MLB, but then at the end, stay tuned to this one, man, because I normally don't talk about this particular, type of thing, so I'm going to go ahead and mention something that I've been thinking about since I read it last night, man. I got to get it off my chest. So hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, that bada bing, get your yak, get that J, sit back. I got you, my G. Let's do this. All right, guys, let's get right into it, man. Everybody saw it. The NFL Super Bowl had the most views of all time. It actually went up about 3 to 4% from last year, which they had record-breaking views for that game as well. But of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, they finally won a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. And the Chiefs' 22 points were basically like in the second half because, of course, as you know, it was 24-0 the first half. And I didn't watch the game, man. My son was like, "Dad, I want to watch the game." I said, "All right, cool." So I went to the app that had the game. I forget which one that was. They're not a sponsor here for Starting Lineup Podcast, so I ain't gonna mention them. But your ad can be right there. I shouldn't even point, but it will be right on the screen. But anyways, my G, I was like, man, Kansas City's gonna come back, man. They're gonna make this a game. 24-9. They're gonna get the ball back. They're gonna score a touchdown on that drive. Probably stop the Eagles. They're going to punt. They're going to score again, and it'll be 14-24. Yeah, right. But, I got to give it to him. Jalen Hurts ended up being the Super Bowl MVP. Let me see here. Hurts, 221 yards passing. 2 passing touchdowns. Interception. Rushed for 72 rushing yards and scored a touchdown. That's my guy, man. Fantasy football wise, that's my guy. He does that all the time, babe. That's his floor, right? But, the wide receivers, he was passing the ball around, man. Devontae Smith, he had that one play that was huge for a touchdown pass. About 4 receptions, 69 yards with that touchdown. A.J. Brown, it looks like he was pretty much shut down, dogs. 3 receptions for 43 yards and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So, it was mostly the defense of this Philadelphia Eagles that came out and showed out. They did everything, man. Unfortunately, Pat Mahomes ended up getting intercepted twice, and he fumbled. And that fumble was like, kind of like on the Eagles side. One of the interceptions came back for a touchdown. Mahomes ended up throwing for 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 in-toes, a fumble, rushed it for 25 rushing yards. And he had the most rushing yards. That Hunt and Pacheco, they disappeared. Kelsey was nowhere to be found. He had 4 receptions for 39 yards. And all other receivers except Xavier Worthy. Yo, man, where were you guys? Smith-Schuster, nowhere. Hops, man. D-Hops dropped some balls wide open. He could have probably got like 30, 40 yards on those passes. My dude, on the biggest stage, out of all the guys, come on, man. That I don't know. He had oil on his gloves or something, man. I don't know, babe. D-Hop. Oh, yeah, D-Hop's actually retires now. I saw that on Adam Schefter's Twitter page that he spoke with Andy Reid a couple of days after the game and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna retire." I mean, man, I can't call it, babe. Xavier Worthy. I mean, this was amazing. I should have picked him on FanDuel, but 8 receptions, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And one of them was like a 60 or 50-yard bomb that Mahomes threw on the money. I couldn't believe he caught it, man. But Xavier Worthy stamped himself in the NFL because he broke a rookie record for wide receivers in the Super Bowl with that performance, man. That was amazing to see. I didn't watch the game until the fourth quarter. I was basically in my dining room and I can hear the game, like if I was listening to it on the radio, old school, you know what I mean? But my son was the commentator. He was coming back and forth like, "Oh, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened." So, I saw the game, but I didn't really see the game, And then by the time the fourth quarter came, it was like, oh, okay, we have to, the Chiefs have to throw the ball 80 yards on one shot, to try to make this a game, But when the 2-minute warning came around, the Eagles, celebrated, splashed their quarterback with the Gatorade, and it was a wrap, babe. The defense finally showed something here in the playoffs, because that's why I thought that, Detroit, Denver, they could have made some moves this year, man, because their defense was official. Yeah, but it is what it is. My money line went down the drain. I have a friend, actually, he did a parlay on like players over and unders, and he hit big, man. That was amazing to hear. But what can you say, man? Congratulations to the Eagles. I think their parade is coming soon. I know I saw Jalen Hurts at Disney World right now, or yesterday. In the floats and all that type of stuff. It is what it is, man. Let's see who wins it next year. I'm glad that the Chiefs didn't three-peat, but of course it would have been history. And, if they would have done it, hey, man, I mean, it's not like they can't be there next year, man. They're still a good ball club, man. Yeah, they lose D-House, but, they got Worthy. And who's that other dude? The other gentleman that got hurt, but he's in trouble. No me recuerdo, pero, it was good to see. At the end of the game, I was like, the Eagles did it, man. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert had like 2 catches for 30 yards or something. And he could have had a bigger game, but, Oh, yeah, Saquon. They stopped Saquon, man. Saquon was not really a factor, except in the fourth quarter. They were running the ball. He wasn't stepping out of bounds. He held on, didn't fumble, and got that clock ticking down real good. So congratulations, Saquon, and all you guys for winning the Super Bowl, man. Well deserved. Let's go on to my next segment. So now this segment, I'm just going to combine NBA and MLB. Luka Doncic. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Doncic. Luka finally played his first game with the LA Lakers. They did beat whoever they were playing. I don't even know. And he's rocking that 77. But, he only played 23 minutes in his debut. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. That's not really his numbers like that. They're like easing him in. Even though he's been playing the whole season kind of, on and off. But the Lakers, man, they got lucky, bro. That's all I got to say. I mean, LeBron's going to leave pretty soon. Yeah, Bronny stays, but he has a long way to go to be the X factor of that team, or to be relevant as an all-star. And the potential's there, man. I don't know if you guys see it. I see it. And he started off bad, of course, and he's not like he's averaging 10 points a game, but he got skills, man. He can do it. The Knicks played Indianapolis Pacers, and we got a big win. Towns went off. Hart did his thing. And then, Bridges and my main man Brunson, the points and the stats is not there, man. But they did play good defense. McBride came through. He did really good off the bench. And we got a big win, man. We scored over 125 points. Shut the Pacers down, even though they did score like 110 or 111 in this game. But it was good to see, man. February 16th is the NBA All-Star Game. And you know how they do, man. The NBA is one of those leagues that really knows how to showcase their talent. Of course, people are not too interested in the dunking contest anymore. That's kind of boring. It's like, what other dunk can you come up with? Like, you know what I mean? I think they're gonna have to do some, I don't know, jump from the rafters or something. I don't know, man. But the 3-point contest, Lillard should be in it. He's the defending champ for the last two All-Star games in the 3-point contest, and I think he's trying to win his third. So good luck to that dude, man. I hope to see that. But the All-Star game is itself, they don't really play defense and stuff like that. I want people to go back to the 90s when the All-Star game was here where I live in the Orlando area, in the Orlando Magic's older arena, when it was like Magic Johnson's like last All-Star game. They scored a lot of points, both teams, East and West. But there was defense there too, man. They had to take like timeouts in the fourth quarter and stuff like that to come up with a play. Jordan drove, found Ewing in the baseline. He hit that jumper like he always does. Bang. You know what I mean? But Magic Johnson, I believe that game, man, he went off. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of points. Compare when those guys were playing to now, it's just straight offense. They're not going to take a charge. I don't expect anybody to take a charge in the All-Star game, but a little defense, babe. Come on, make it a little difficult. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to break an ankle or nothing, but show all the facets of the game, man. That's what I'm hoping to see. In baseball, Clayton Kershaw has been able to sign one more season with the LA Dodgers, and now this will be his 18th season with the Dodgers. This guy is going to the Hall of Fame, man, because let me go over a little bit of his career that I saw on ESPN. So he has a guarantee between $5 to $10 million this year, just for 1 year. You know what I mean? It might be his last. So I hope he gets that 10, you know what I'm saying? But active pitchers right now, career leaders in wins, ERA, strikeouts, and innings pitched. This guy is basically top 3 in all of them. In wins, he's top 3 with 212 wins. He's number 1 in ERA with a low 2.5, like 2.5 ERA, which they based it on 1,000 innings pitched, and he's the first one there. He's number 1. Strikeouts, I mean, he only needs like less than 40 strikeouts to get 3,000 strikeouts. So he's third with all active pitchers right now, like Verlander and stuff like that. Kershaw has 2,968 strikeouts. And his inning pitched is third of all active career leaders right now. 2,742 innings and 2/3. I mean, just by that, man, just that right there, defines everything, man. He's won the championships with the Dodgers, so that's awesome, to have. But and he's made his money. He's been one of the top pitchers in the league. I think he's gonna go down as the first ballot kind of thing. And we'll see what happens, man. I mean, the Dodgers, the Mets, Philly, Milwaukee. I'm missing somebody from the West. The Padres. These are all the teams right now that, yes, they have a high payroll, but they got really good players all over the field. Pitching staff, they play defense. I just hope that the Cubs can make a push, to get better. The Diamondbacks, they want to get back to the World Series, man, because that was right, around the corner, man. That was 2 years ago, babe. And then of course in the AL, we got the Yankees, we got the Orioles, we got Cleveland, we got the Mariners. Hopefully they can make another push to the playoffs. I want Julio Rodriguez to show you guys how amazing that kid is, man. But and how good he is. So I don't have to say much, but it's always good to see that talent in the playoffs. You know what I mean? When it's the most pressure, just everything counts. Especially for a franchise that's never won a World Series or even appeared in a World Series. Who else is in the West that's going to make some moves? I can't think on the top of my head. The White Sox shouldn't lose 121 games again, so we'll see how that goes down. I've been hearing that a lot of players don't even want to be on that ball club, but they've been signing some people here and there. And that's my take for this segment here with my NBA MLB talk. Appreciate y'all listening. Let me get to my last segment, and this is gonna be the end of my video. Hold on. So something to talk about is that I read an article on ESPN about storming. Basically storming the field, storming the court when like something big in college happens. Now, I don't really talk about college sports. I just, see who's like the big names, what might be the possibilities of them making it to the next level, what teams may draft them, stuff like that. But I don't really get into too much until they reach that level, But if you didn't know, about this, basically in college sports, especially basketball and tackle football, because it doesn't happen in baseball, it doesn't happen, in golf, it doesn't happen in tennis or football, none of that. It doesn't happen in those other collegiate sports where, let's say, a school is not really ranked and they beat one of the top ranked teams, like a top 10, you know what I mean? And then the whole crowd, storms onto the court or the field. Now, these schools are getting charged like $500,000, I believe, every time that happens, And this year there was one school that stormed the football field twice. You know what I mean? That's a mill, kid. That hurts, babe. There's probably teachers not getting that bonus because of that shit. But apparently there's a commission that's trying to find a way to say, okay, don't storm the field as soon as the game is officially over. Like the time, the clock just stop is 0 and stuff like that. Give it some time that the players do what they do. They give handshakes, good game, blah, blah, blah. They get off the court, off the field, and then go ahead and storm the field. But at the same time, will they be still fined for that? I don't know. But, to me, I'm like, it's kind of messed up that, and this has to be like some fraternity type of thing, but they stormed the football field. They knocked down the field goal post. And recently, last season, I don't know what school it was, but they took it to like the middle of the school. Like they brought it home and shit. I'm like, yo, dog, what are you doing? Like that's messed up, babe. But you know, if I would have went to a college like that, I would have been in there too. You know what I mean? Like if the school that I would have attended would have beat one of the Dukes or one of the Alabamas and all that stuff, depending on the sport, of course. I would have stormed the field with everybody else, you know what I'm saying, and got crazy. But of course, there's people getting injured. The I can just imagine the landscaping team like, damn, babe, we're gonna be out here forever, son. Oh, you're gonna pay us OT? You know what I mean, to fix this field. The court might be a little different, because there's probably like something below it, underneath it or whatever. But what can you do, man? They're trying to find a way for these students not to do that. There was even talks about if the home team storms the field, that they're gonna lose that game, even if they're the ones that won, because that's the reason why everybody stormed the field or the court. That it will be an automatic loss. So imagine you're a player. You played an amazing game. You did what you got to do, son. Yo, we did it, son. We beat them kid, and we got an L because esta gente, these students, too much beer or whatever you might call it. You know what I mean? Too much chronic in the air, and they do this, babe. And it's not normally like old people, you know what I mean? It's not like there's dudes in there. Well, I can't even say that because I've never attended one of these type of games. But I would think that is the majority of the students, you know what I mean, between 18 to 25 that are doing this. I mean, I'm at 45, though. I'm not storming no field or no court. There's police over there. I'm good, Jake. I'm not trying to get in trouble or arrested or none of that, dogs. Now, of course, they can't arrest every single person, but imagine if they lock the doors and say there's nobody leaving. Everybody's getting a ticket. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know, but it's an interesting topic because for years, I mean, since I was a teenager and I started, watching, Penn State on, NBC or whatever, CBS or whatever they played, and they stormed the field. It's like, oh man, this team was unranked, or they were the underdog of all underdogs, and they still won. Like that game, Flutie played for like Boston College, and there was a game that he won. About the videos. You ever seen the videos where they stormed the field and the game's not over, and the other team ran it back or whatever? Yo, son, I don't know, babe. That to me, son, that's wild. But the schools, being fined that's huge, man. That's a huge loss. And I wonder, behind the scenes, how many people are affected by that fine. But that's my thoughts, my G. I hope they find a medium where it can still happen. It can be still shown on TV or whatever. The fans are still going crazy, for their school. But 500,000. Oof. Yo, babe, makes you think, right? Well, I'm Hands Down Sports. Thanks for staying this long in this video on the Starting Lineup Podcast. Appreciate you, man. This was brought to you by, and of course that could have been your ad right there. So support Hands Down Sports. Come and talk to me. You know what I mean? I'm like pro bono, my G. I'll lay out my bills, and you pay them, and with a little extra tip. You know what I mean? To live. Yo tengo 3 niños, loco. You know what I mean? I gotta hook up the wife with the dope, Harry Potter stuff, my G. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, thanks a lot, man. And like always, estamos aquí.